Good morning, everyone. Today I will going to express about the 18 electron rule. 18 electron rule in metal carbonyl complexes. And we also have the applications of 18 electron rule. Right. That is the topic today's. The 18 electron rule is the topic which express the stability of the complex. Right. So before this 18 electron rule, there was uh, a a topic, a theory which discusses the stability of the complex, and it is termed as a EAN rule, effective atomic rule. It is right. The Sidgwick one who initially started to discuss the stability of the complex. Right. He is the one describing the stability in an initially. Right. And he describes the EAN rule. He defines the EAN rule. And this EAN rule is just an extension of Lewis octet rule. Lewis octet rule. We know that in normal compounds, in organic compounds, when when the molecules are uh, when the molecule's central atom gaining the fulfilled electronic configuration, that is 1s2, that is s2p6, right, 8 electrons in valency will be stable. Thus was the theory defined by the Lewis as an octet rule, right. In organic compounds, the valency orbitals when gets fully filled, right, thus nothing but s2p6 electronic configured central atom compounds will be very much stable, and that's how the Lewis stated the octet rule. With the similarity of that, with the extension of thus similar rule, Sidgwick proposes the EAN rule, right? And this EAN rule will defines the stability of the complexes, right? The EAN Sidgwick rule suggests the stability of the complexes in initially before the 18 electron rule, right? 18 electron rule has some advantages on the Sidgwick EAN rule. So the 18 electron rule was very much popular nowadays, and so basis of 18 electron rule was EAN rule. So let us know the what is the EAN rule initially, by which we will come to know the 18 electron rule in an effectively, right. And the stability in EAN rule, what he says that the Sidgwick says that the stability of the complexes was depends upon the central metal atom of a complex, where the central atom gains when the central atom gains the noble gas configuration, thus the complexes were very much stable. He concluded like this, right. The stability of the complex depends upon central metals electronic configuration, when thus gain metal gain noble gas configuration, there the complex is stable. There the complex is stable. That's how he defined it, right? In octet rule, what the term, right? Whatever the molecules, right, normal molecules, when the central atom gaining the fulfilled electronic configuration of s2p6, that would be very much stable. That is was Lewis octet rule. Similar fulfilled electronic configuration, right? The fulfilled electronic configuration where we can see in atoms, right? Noble gases. When the noble gases, when we see neon, argon, krypton, xenon, like that, all, right, they will have fulfilled electronic configuration, right? The same, right? Sidgwick extends the same concept into the complexes, right? The complexes central atom, when gains the noble gas configuration, then it would be very much stable, suggested as very much stable, right? Here to know the number of electrons in a complex, right? Metal atoms electrons, there was EAN calculation, effective atomic number, called as effective atomic number, EAN, which is equal to number of electrons in metal plus ligand donated electrons. Right? That's how the effective atomic number, right? When all the electrons, right, it is in sum of all the electrons of metal atom and the ligand donated electrons will be known as effective atomic number, EAN number. This EAN number, when is equal to noble gas configurations such as krypton 36 atoms, xenon 54 atoms, radon 86 electrons, right? Xenon's 54 electrons, radon's 86 electrons. When this number, right, gains by the 18 electron EN, effective atomic number, for a complex metal ion, then thus the complex is said to be as a stable. That's how the Sidgwick EN rule, right? So this is the base for the 18 electron rule, right? It just slight modification done on the EN rule to get the 18 electron rule. The 18 electron rule has similarities and advantages from the Sidgwick EAN rule, where the 18 electron rule suggested as the complex outer electronic configuration, when gets fulfilled, then thus the complex will be very much stable. What he says in the 18 electron rule, a complex's metal when gains fulfilled electronic configuration such as n-1d 10 electrons, ns2, np6 configuration, when gets the metal complex's metal ion, then thus the complex is stable. Here, when it looked the atoms in the outermost electronic configuration suggested by 18 electron rule, thus electrons are 18. So far, this particular theory is termed as a 18 electron rule, right? So complexes when gains the 18 electrons in valency, then the complex will be very much stable, right? So this is how the 18 electron rule can be defined as a sum of metal complexes, metal valency electron when it is equal to 18, it would be said as 18 electron rule, and when the complexes gains such 18 electronic configuration in valency, metal valency, then thus the complex will be very much stable. Here the advantage what it comes for the noble gas for the EAN rule to 18 electron rule, same here also EAN will same suggest, right, but here the count of full electrons of the metal he consider in EAN rule, and when this EAN rule equal to 36, 54, 86 electron, then thus the complexes are very much stable, right. But in the 18 electron rule he consider, right, the valency electrons of metal, right, not total number of electrons in the metal, right, he considers only valency electrons, and together with ligand donated electron, it is when it comes equal to the 18 electrons, 18 number, then thus the complex will be very much stable, right. And the advantage is what it is from the EAN requires for each different types of different transitional row of metal complexes will should to have different number of electrons in the valency, right. Suppose if we are having a metal complex of metal 3D transitional metal, and thus 3D transitional metal complexes should require to gain the 18 electron 36 electrons of krypton, then it would be very much stable, right. When we have 4D transitional metal complex, thus metal complex metal electrons, right, EAN electrons should be 54. When it is having the complex of 4D transitional metal 54 effective atomic number, then only it will be stable. Same to that 5D transitional metal complexes, when it is gains the effective atomic number of 86, then it will be very much stable. Like that, for the different series of D transitional metal complexes, we have to remember different noble gas configured total electrons, whereas in the 18 electron rule it never required to have different numbers to memorize, right, to remember, right. Here it is require only 18 number. By the title only you will come to know what is it is, right. And thus 18 is equal to its number of electrons filled in DSP, right, D10 S2 P6, thus equal to 18. Thus 18 electrons, right, for any transitional metal complex, right, rather it is 3D, 4D or 5D, right, any transitional metal complex, when it having the valency electron density of 18, it would be stable, right. Slight disadvantage makes very much flexible in calculation, right, and very easy to memorize, right. To define the stability it will become very easy, right. So far this 18 electron rule was very much popular, right. So coming to how does we have to calculate, how can we can calculate the 18 electron count, right, for a complex. To count 18 electron rule, or to count the 18 electron count for a complex, 18 electron count can be done in two methods. One is neutral atomic method, neutral atom method. The second is oxidation state method. Oxidation state method. Like this, we can count the 18 electron count in two different ways, two different processes that let us know. Thus, two processes known as neutral atom method Secondly, it called as oxidation state method, right? By having in one example, you will come to know. Before that, let us get the formula, right? 18 electron count formula. In neutral method, 18 electron count can be equal to number of metals into valency electrons of metal plus number of ligands into ligand donating electrons. Each ligand donating valence electrons of each ligand donating electrons plus if there are multiple metals, right, this include and we have to require, right, 2 electrons into number of metal bonds, metal to metal bonds. In addition to that, plus or minus oxidation state on coordination sphere. Alright. This is the formula to get the 18 electron count for different complexes, right? It requires the number of metal atoms and the metal atom valences, right? Here there is no requirement of to know the metal ion, right? Here we know we have to just getting the metal and total valence electrons we have to consider here, right? Number of metals and total number of electrons in metal ion, right? It is not required to have metal oxidation state. To know knowing the metal oxidation state never require in the neutral method. That is the advantage we have in neutral method. In addition to that, the number of ligands into each ligand donating electron plus 2 electrons into number of metal bonds, right? And plus or minus oxidation state on coordination sphere. It is not on metal ion, on the coordination sphere. If there any charge, thus charge we have to count. If the charge is positive, which nothing but it is electron deficient, right? When there is an charge, nothing but it has lost some of the electrons, right? If it is having the coordination sphere having plus charge, nothing but it losing the all the coordination sphere, right? Valence electrons, total electrons from where one electron was lost, so getting positive charge, right? If there is an negative charge such as -2, which nothing but there are more electron density in inclusion of complex, all the electrons of complex, right? So it nothing but we have to add the electron, right? If their coordination pair having negative charge, with equivalent number of a negative charge we have to add the electrons here, where we have to take plus oxidation state of coordination sphere. When there is a coordination sphere having positive charge indicating that electron loosed, there we have to consider negative and with an equivalent of positive number here, positive charge on coordination sphere, right, minus some number, right, whatever equal to positive charge on coordination sphere, that we have to take here, right. In the oxidation state method now, in oxidation state method, the 18 electron count is equal to number of metal ions into valence electrons of metal ion, right. This is the change we have to recognize from the neutral method to oxidation state method. In the oxidation neutral method, it require only metal. There is no requirement of any metal ion, and there is no requirement to exactly know the metal ion in the metal complex. But when it come to oxidation state method, we should to know the oxidation state of the metal ion in the complex. Then only we will can go through all this with oxidation state method, right. So that is the one we have to every time we have to remember. The 18 electron count in oxidation state method can be equal to number of metal ions into valence electrons in the metal ion plus, right, all the other will be same as number of ligands into ligand donating electrons plus 2 into number of metal bonds plus or minus oxidation state on coordination sphere, right. So that is how the formulas in neutral method and in oxidation state method, right. Let us go with one example, one or two example, right. So considering single metal complex, that is manganese complex, pentacarbonyl manganese complex anion we are considered here, right. In neutral method, to have the 18 electron count, it can be equal to 1, there is only one manganese, so far 1 into, right, from the formula you go for the each particular from the complex, right. So number of 18 electron count in neutral method is equal to number of metals, right. Here number of metal manganese, it having only one, so 1 into valency electrons of metal, right. Here manganese we know that it is an 3d5 4s2 electronic configurated metal. So here in total of 3d5 4s2, it is having 7 electrons in valency, so thus 7 electrons we have considered here plus number of ligands. Here the carbonyls are the ligand, they are 5, so 5 into ligand donating electrons, right. We know that the carbonyl is 2 electron donor, which is already known by the last session of class, and we all discussed the ligational characters of carbonyl, where we concluded the carbonyl donates 2 electrons, and thus the 2 electrons here into plus 2 into number of metal bonds. 2 into number of metal bonds cannot be possible here, since it has the complex manganese complex has only one metal, so there may not be any metal to metal bond, so 2 into 0 plus or minus oxidation state on coordination sphere. Not bother about the oxidation state of metal ion, we have to bother about the oxidation state on coordination sphere, nothing but this, right. So it is -1 for the example complex, right. -1 nothing but it has 1 electron more, so we have to add plus 1, right. Having -1, it will be plus 1. Having nothing on negative, nothing beside the negative, nothing but it has 1, so we have to take plus 1, right. Altogether in summarizing, 1 into 7 is 7, 5 into 10, 2 is 10, 2 into 0 is 0, 1 is 1, right. 7 plus 10 is 17, 17 plus 0 17 plus 1 is 18. So the complex manganese carbonyl complex is obeying the 18 electron, and it is an very much stable, right. It is an very much stable. Same when it is come in the oxidation state method, calculating the 18 electron count in oxidation state method, the result of 18 electron count should be same for the neutral method to oxidation state method, right. There should not be any change, right. That you have to keep in mind, right. So let us go with all the particulars of 18 electron count in oxidation state method, that is number of metal ions, right? Here it has manganese, right? So 1 we have to consider, only 1 manganese, so for 1 into electrons in the metal ion, right? Electrons in the metal ion, nothing but we have to know the what is the oxidation state of metal ion in the taken complex, right? So to know the oxidation state of metal ion, right, it depends upon the charge of the ligand, right? Here the ligand is carbonyl, there is no other ligand, and we know that the carbonyl is neutral ligand, right? This is, and this is all described in last class, right? Last session class. Carbonyl is in neutral ligand, so neutral ligand cannot polarizes the any charge on the metal side, right? So having no polarization from the ligand side, neutral ligand side, metal will be having zero, will has the zero oxidation state. So metal manganese will be zero in oxidation state. So when there is an manganese is zero in oxidation state, nothing but it have equal number of electrons of neutral simple metal ion, right? Metal. So manganese is an 3d5 4s2, in total valency 7 electron it consists. So that we consider 1 into 7 plus number of ligand sites. Number of ligands in this particular complex is 5 carbonyl, 5 we have considered, into ligand donating electrons. The carbonyl donates 2 electrons, so 5 into 2 plus 2 into metal bonds, right? Number of metal bonds. Here there will not be any metal bonds since manganese only the one metal, right? So that is 0. So again plus or minus oxidation state, so it should be plus 1 since having negative charge on coordination sphere, it should to be added, and it has one number minus 1, nothing but it should to be added plus 1, right? So altogether 1 into 7 is 7 plus 5 into 10 2 is 10 plus 2 into 0 is 0 plus 1, it 7 plus 10 is 17, 17 plus 0 is 17 plus 1 is 18. So that is same in the neutral method, 18 electron count is 18. In the oxidation state method also it count is 18 for the same complex. It should to be, right? It will come same. So that's how calculation of uh, 18 electron count for n complex, right? This is one simple metal ion metal complex we consider, na? Single metal complex consider, na? Let us go with multiple metal complex such as clusters. We will go, that is octacarbonyl dicobalt complex, right? Again doing same 18 electron count in neutral method and uh, oxidation state method we continue. So where we will have the metal bonds, right? In the first complex there is only one metal, so far there is no metal bonds, but in this we may have, right? The cobalts are 2, so there is an metal bond, right? So 2 cobalt, nothing but they bond with a single bond, right? So linear geometry, single bond can be possible. So metal bond is 1, only 1, right? So now let go with each particular from the neutral method, right? It having a number of metals, right? Here the number of metals are 2 cobalts, so 2 into valence electrons of metal. Here we have to consider metal, no metal oxidation state, no metal ion. So don't bother about the calculation of oxidation state of metal ion, right? So directly considering metal, cobalt is 3d7 4s2, in total 7 plus 2 it has 9 electrons. So plus number of ligands into ligand donating electrons, right? Here the number of here the ligands are carbonyl and its number is 8, into ligand donating electrons are 2, carbonyl donates 2 electrons. So in addition of that 2 into number of metal bonds, right? Now here it come, it is 2 into 1. Cobalt to cobalt, when there are two metals, there will be possibility of one bond. So far 2 into 1. Plus or minus oxidation state. Here there is any oxidation state on here? No. So far it is 0. You can consider plus 0 or minus 0. It nothing change, right? So that can be summarized as 2 into 9 is 18 plus 2 into 8 into 6 is 16 plus 2 into 1 is 2. So that 18 plus 16 plus 2 all together it is 36. 18 plus 2 is 20, 20 plus 16 is 36, right? 36 for 2 cobalts. So one cobalt has 18 electrons in the valency surrounded. One each cobalt, it has the valence electron density of 18. So again this particular cobalt dicobalt complex is obeying the 18 electron rule and it is very much stable. Let us same we do with the oxidation state method, and that can be equal to 18 electron count can be equal to, right, number of metal ions. So here number of metals are 2, it arising metal ions may be also 2, right? So 2 into valency electrons of metal ion. So here we have to know again the oxidation state of metal ion, then only we can go with the valency electrons in metal ion, right? So again it depends upon the ligand state, ligand charge. Here the ligand is carbonyl and it is neutral. So far it never polarizes the metal to have any charge. So far the cobalt is in neutral, zero oxidation state. So each zero oxidation state cobalt will have 3d7 4s2, totally 9. So plus number of ligand sites are 8 into ligand donating electrons are 2 plus 2 into number of metal bonds are 1, and oxidation state plus or minus oxidation state is 0. Here I consider plus, here I consider minus, nothing. 0 plus minus doesn't matter, right? So 2 into 9 is 18 plus 8 into 2 is 16 plus 2 into 1 is 2, and altogether it is 36, and each cobalt will have 18 electrons, where when there are two cobalts are 36. So again in oxidation state metal also same the result, obeying the complex will obeys the 18 electron rule and very much stable, right? So that's how we can calculate. And the advantages, disadvantages when we go 18 electron rule. The advantage from the neutral method to oxidation state method, one we have to quote, that is the requirement in neutral method is more advanced than more easier, advanced nothing but easier than oxidation state method. Since in oxidation state method by the simple formula we can go through all the particulars of all calculation, right, part of the 18 electron count, right? In the neutral method there is no requirement to do oxidation state of the metal ion, right? Whereas in oxidation state method it required to know the metal ion in the complex, right? So you have to do some exercise to know the metal ion, thereby we can go with electrons of metal ion, valence electrons of metal ion, and all the particulars are same. The three particulars of first to second are same, just changes from one to one part of the first initial part of the two methods, right? In the neutral method it's just by the formula of metal we can go calculation. By in the oxidation state method slight exercise we have to do, that is to know the metal ion oxidation state. That is the advantage, right? So coming to 18 electron rule, it has remarkable uh, uh, what we can say advantages and utilities in metal carbonyl clusters, in organometallic compounds, where it can defines the structures of the clusters complexes, and it also defines the metal bonds, right? And it also defines the ligand bonding modes, right? The ligand is that terminally bonded or bridged has the bridged bonding can be predicted from the 18 electron rule. So like this, the 18 electron rule is very much flexible in organometallic compounds, and it has applications. All these, right, all these advantages, right, apart of this, all the complexes are not strictly obeys the 18 electron, right? Some of the complexes are exceptions, right? So such as the D8 configurated square planar complexes are the, what we can say, violators of the 18 electron rule, not obeys 18 electron rule. Simply that D8 configurated square planar complex is nothing but, right, from the neutral method when we calculate the outer valency electrons of the complex square planar complexes having D8 electronic configuration, 8 electrons, valence electrons will be 8 plus square planar nothing but there will be 4 ligand sites, so 2 into 4, right? If each ligand donating 2 electrons, most of the ligands will donate 2 electrons, since ligand defines that definition is depends upon the donation of a pair of electrons, nothing but 2 electron donor, right? So like that it considered as 2 into 4, so altogether, right, 8 plus 8 it equal to 16 electrons, right? Whereas 18 electron says that it should to be have 18 electrons in the valency of each metal where the complex can be stable. But the square planar complexes mostly, right, there are many more complexes, square planar complexes, which are very much stable, right? So that's all stable square planar complexes maximum has 16 electrons, not 18 electrons, right? Like this, the square planar complexes of D8 configured metal ion will never obey the 18 electron rule. That is the one drawback we can say for the 18 electron rule. And even having the drawback, the best utility is in the metallo-organic compounds. In metallo-organic compounds, it defines the 18 electron rule, defines the metal bonds and structure and ligand bonding mode can be defined with this. And mostly the 18 electron rule is very much suits that in the complexes of electron rich metal with pi acceptor ligand complexes are highly 18 electron rule obeyed complexes, right? 18 electron rule will mostly suits where the metal having electron rich, right, having more electron density in d valency, and the ligand in the complex which is acceptor, pi acceptor, right? Such as simply just before we discussed that carbonyl complexes where the manganese first complex or second complex what we have in calculation, both in thus both when we compare, the metals are very much electron rich. Manganese 7, cobalt is 9 electron, right? So electrons are more in the metal valency. And ligand, when we say the carbonyl is sigma donor and also pi acceptor. So thus acceptor, pi acceptor and electron rich metal will will obeys the right 18 electron rule. Well, will bestly suits to the 18 electron rule obeyed character, right? So that's how the 18 electron rule. Let us go for the applications. How does the applications, right? Finding that 18 electron rule to know the number of metal metal bonds, structure as well as bonding. Once we know the bonding number of metal metal bonds, it is equivalent to the structural character, right, of the metal carbonyls, right, especially metal clusters, right. So here and there I am using the metal cluster term, right. It is nothing but till this session, before this session, right. Here I used some of the complexes metal clusters, right. Till the before, right, you may know the complexes which having only single metal, right. The multiple metal complexes are known to is very much rare, I think so, right. So here when it come to metal clusters, right, it defines that complex having multiple metals with multiple ligands where metal to metal direct bonds are existing, then thus the complexes is termed as a metal clusters, right. So such as uh, the octacarbonyl dicobalt cluster, right. Here it has the multiple metals, something but more than one metal, here two metals, right. And there the metal to metal bond will be there, cobalt to cobalt one bond we consider, no? Thus one bond is there, like this. Complex with multiple metals with multiple ligands and having metal to metal direct bond are said to be as metal clusters, right. Thus clusters will have structural aspects from the metal to metal bonds only, right. The structures of the metal clusters will be depends upon the metal to metal bonds, right. Such as here this particular cobalt cluster geometry is considered as linear, right. So like that, when we know the metal to metal bonds in such complexes, it equivalent to having the information of structure of complex, right. And that is the one, advantage what we have to discuss in the 18 electron rule now. And the second is uh, bonding mode of the ligand, right. Let us discuss this. Applications of 18 electron rule. The 18 electron rule is defines the metal to metal bonds. Is useful to predict the number of metal metal bonds, and by which it can define the geometry of metal clusters, right. Let us find how does it giving the uh, metal to metal bonds, number of metal to metal bonds, right. Consider an complex, cluster complex, dodecacarbonyl tetrairidium cluster. When we consider, right, here this particular carbonyl complex having high electron dense metal and pi acceptor ligand site, it is simply considered as it obeys the 18 electron rule, obeys the 18 electron rule, nothing but each iridium valency will be have 18 electron. So here the cluster have 4 iridiums, so it nothing but 4 into 18, it has 17 electrons in valency surrounding all 4 iridiums. So the 18 electron count results for this particular cluster is 72 number, right? So consider that 18 electron count. So having that in mind, 18 electron count can be equal to neutral method, right? Let us go neutral method, which is very much easier, which is has the avoiding the calculation of oxidation state or oxidation metal ion in the complex. So here 18 electron count in neutral method is equal to number of metals, that is 4, into number of electrons in the valence electrons in the metal, right? Iridium is the cobalt group metal, right? Cobalt, rhodium, iridium, right? So iridium is a cobalt group metal, so where it has the valency electrons of 5d7 6s2, so in totally 9. So 9 plus number of ligands, the carbonyls are the ligand here, that are 12 into ligand donating electron, carbonyl donates 2 electrons, so into 2, plus uh, number of 2 into number of metal bonds, number of metal bonds. Here we are predicting that, so let us take the same word, right? Without that we are considered as unknown thing, right? So number of metal bonds plus or minus oxidation state. Here there is no oxidation state on coordination sphere, don't bother about the metal ion oxidation state to get the plus or minus oxidation state. Here we have to bother about the coordination sphere oxidation state, nothing is there, nothing but it is 0, so it is 0, right? Writing 0 here. So and by having the iridium complex as 18 electron obeyed complex, it should to be have 18 electron count value of 72, so that we consider here 72. 72 can be equal to 4 into 9, it is 36, plus 12 into is 24, plus 2 into number of metal bonds, right? 0 is 0, right? So now 2 into writing unknown things in one side, known things in other side, right? These two particular going other side, right? 36 plus 24 it equal to 60, so 72 minus 60 it equal to 12. So now number of metal bond equal to 12 by 2, that is 6, right? So having 6 metal to metal bonds, right? So with this, like this, the 18 electron rule will suggest you the number of metal bonds. With this number of metal bonds, right, we can predict the structure as tetrahedral. 4 sides with 8 bonds will be the tetrahedral structure. So this is how the structure, where there has 6 metal to metal bond, 1 2 3 4 5 6, right? And this is what the tetrahedral structure, right? Like this one can get the number of metal bonds and predict the geometry of the complex from the 18 electron rule, right? This is the one. Yes, 18 electron rule can also predict the ligand bonding mode. 18 electron rule can also predict ligand bonding mode. It nothing but the ligand is terminal or bridged. can be suggested by the 18 electron rule. Let us have an example. Iron complex, iron dinitrile, nitrosyl, halo complex. Right, here X is halogen. Right, we can consider chlorine, fluorine, bromine, iodine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. All right. Having a high density metal, right, and pi acceptor nitrosyl ligand, the complex iron complex obeys 18 electron rule. One, it obey the 18 electron rule, it having dinucleus cluster, right? So each iron will have 18 electron in valency. There are two each iron will have 18 electrons. Two irons will have 36 electrons around it. So this 36 can be equal to the 18 electron count of the particular complex, right? Now let us have the 18 electron count. Can be equal to number of metals into metal valency electrons, right? So here the number of metals are 2. There are irons are 2. So 2 into valence electrons of iron, right? Iron, it is an 3d6 4s2, so it has 8 electrons plus, right? Number of ligands into ligand donating electrons. Number of ligands are here 2, nitrosyl as well as chloride. Let us have the nitrosyl 2 as an linear bonding mode, 3 electron donor. So that is 3 into 2 into 3, 2 of nitrosyl in linear bonding mode, it has 3 electrons plus chlorine, right? Chlorine, halogen, chlorine, bromine, iodine, whatever it may be, halogen, right? Halogen can have two different donor capacities, right, in change of bonding mode. When chlorine changing its bonding mode, in terminal mode it donates only 1 electron, in bridging bonding mode it donates 3 electrons. So let us predict this, right? So the chlorine electrons, let us having in question, it has 2 electron, true, right? The nitrosyl 2, nothing but 2 into 2, it has 4, right? The nitrosyls are 4, right? The chlorine 1 here taken twice, nothing but it has 2 chlorines, so into 2. Chloride electrons are predicting unknown, so chloride into 2 into chloride electrons plus 2 into number of metal bonds. Here there are 2 irons, so it has 1 bond, so that is 2 into 1 plus or minus oxidation state. Here oxidation state on this coordination pair is 0, so let us consider 0, right? So and here the 18 electron count can be 36, that we can consider as 36, and 2 into 8 is 16, 4 into 3 is 12, 2 into chloride electrons, 2 into chloride electrons plus 2 into 1 is 2 plus 0 is 0, and known things are one side, unknown things are another side. There the 2 electrons, 2 into chloride electrons is equal to 36 minus 16 plus 12 is 28, 28 plus 2 is 30, so altogether 36 minus 30, so it equal to 6. 2 chlorides are 6 electron donors, so 1 chloride can donate 3 electrons, right? So here it is confirming that chloride is in the bridged bonding mode. Bridged bonding mode rather than terminal, right? So like this, right, from the 18 electron rule, one can predict the bonding mode of ligand also, right? Here the chlorine bonding mode is exactly predicted by 18 electron rule. So that's how the applications from the 18 electron rule. So here I conclude the class, today's 18 electron rule class. By next we will going to have the nitrosyl ligational aspects, thereby continue the different topics of ligation aspects of diatomic molecules. Right, thank you.